Howdy ho, guys and gals. Welcome to our first edition of Not That, This on the Deal Source. Let's jump into it. So, first thing we have is the KitchenAid hand blender. This is a do not buy. Not because it's bad, because honestly, it's fantastic. We have this, we use it in the RV, and for $100, I thought immersion blenders couldn't do this kind of stuff. This thing is an absolute beast. It will chew through about anything. You got to keep your hands on it. It will get away from you. But that said, we went over to some friends and they had this one, the Mueller Ultra Stick. Honestly, at first when I glanced at it, I'm like, oh, you've got the KitchenAid too. And he's like, no, it's the Mueller. And I'm like, okay, so we tried it out. I can't tell a difference. I really can't. And I'll be honest, I did not want to like the KitchenAid. I think it's fantastic. The Mueller, it feels like it's a clone of it. It has just got the same kind of power, the same kind of fit and finish. It feels great. And for, was it $35 versus $100? That's definitely not this, but that. All right, next up, we've got here AirPods. Now, everyone in my family, except for me, loves AirPods. I won't do them. I don't like sticking stuff in my ears. I'm old-fashioned. I use the headset kind of stuff. But my kids and my wife lives by her AirPods. But you know what? She's always losing them. And we've replaced them time and time again. And let me tell you, it gets pricey at $239 for the AirPod Pros. Thankfully, she likes the less expensive, like the second-gen AirPods. But that said, apparently there's a secret on Amazon that no one's been telling you. I mean, if you look at this, the AirPods, #1 selling AirPod thing out there, right? 11,000 reviews. Well, guess what? A friend of mine reached out to me. He's like, you got to try these for the wife. The Tozo T6 True Wireless Earbuds. These things are IPX8. They're pretty, you could pretty much swim with these. That's the kind of waterproofing that we're talking about. Not water resistant. You'll see stuff that's like, oh, it's splash resistant. Oh yeah, if it gets wet, it's not a big deal. You can wear these in the shower. And look at the price on these things. Wait, $26.99. If that's not a good enough deal, we come down here. There's a coupon for 15% off. Look how many people have reviewed this. 237, and it's got fantastic reviews. And these aren't just bot reviews. 237. You don't buy those kind of reviews unless you got deep pockets. That's a ton of reviews. And they're overwhelmingly positive. I've talked to several people now who have these, and they absolutely swear by them, saying they'll never go back to the AirPods again. Do you lose some of the functionality of the AirPods? Well, if you got the stuff where it's like, find my AirPods, sure, you don't get that. But you're looking at $26.99 versus $200. That's 10. You can buy 10 of these. So you can buy these 10 times, lose them, and buy another one before you're at the same price as the AirPods. So this is definitely a not this, but that kind of deal. Next up, this one hurts personally, I gotta tell you about. So if you like hunting or just bird watching or just want to be able to see what's going on, having a good pair of binoculars around, it's something I've always had. My grandparents had them. My parents have always, every family I've ever known always has a good set of binoculars around. And I bought this set to go hunting with the boys. And you know, the Vortex optics, they have a great warranty. You can run over them, they'll replace it. Vortex has the best warranty probably in the optics community out there. But there's one thing they won't cover: losing them. So this set got stolen out of my truck in Las Vegas because we didn't lock the doors. We were idiots. I get it. $248. That hurt. But I decided to double down, and I bought the next level up from Vortex for the next one, and my son left those on the hood of the pickup truck, and they're gone too. I've lost something like $600 in binoculars. But the kids, they'd wanted a set, so I bought them this set that I'd heard good things about that lived in the back seat. And the kids were telling me, well, Dad, you know, just use this set. It's just as good. And I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not. Finally, you know, now that my other good sets are gone, I tried these. These are easily, unless you are an optics snob, and I'm just not. I mean, I just want something that works. I couldn't tell a difference, real world tell a difference between the 248 and the 4788. These also come with the adapter so you can click your cell phone into it. They're 12 by 42s, wide field of view, good zoom on it. We're up here in Montana. Trust me, we need that zoom. We get to see lots of great animals. We get to look at moose and elk and badgers and Californians and all sorts of stuff. I kid you not. Anyway, fact is, I couldn't believe that a less than $50 set of binoculars could get a job like this done. Are they as rugged as the Vortex? No, they're not. But you know what? They're pretty darn close, and for $50, I think I'm going to be pretty happy with them. Next up, this is insane. So we bought the daughter there, her iPad, because she was getting into art. She draws a lot and kind of stuff like that. So we thought, well, let's encourage her. We got her the iPad, and we got her the iPen to go with it. $121. That's like half the price, a little less, a third of the price of the iPad. That's ridiculous for this kind of thing, but that's how much Apple charges for these things, and it's their device. As you can see, we've had it for a while. It's their device. They can charge whatever they want. $121.29 on that. Well, the wife and I recently got iPads for ourselves. I use it for filming and stuff, and she just needs it for like sitting on the couch and going through stuff and whatnot. And we decided we want iPens too, all right, iPencils, whatever you call them. And but I looked at this price. I'm like, that's going to be $240 some for us both to get them. And then somebody reached out to me and told me, hey, you got to check this out. And as you can see, we bought 2 of these. We've had them for a couple weeks now. They're freaking fantastic is what they are. So I can compare these directly with the little girl's iPencil, and side by side, I can't tell the difference. The only thing that I will say is negative about this is that with the iPencil, you can take the end cap off and you can charge it directly off of the iPad, which honestly is a bit cumbersome because now you have this big iPad with this little pencil sticking out that's easily going to get broken off, but it uses the same kind of chargers. This uses a USB-C. Well, since we all switched to iPhones last year, most of our USB-C chargers have gone hither and yon. Now it comes with one. Actually, I got the charger right here. This is the charging cable. As you can see, it's not that big a cable. It's pretty tiny. It works. It's just kind of weird to have a second charging cable around. But for $29, $28.99, I think I'll live with it. And you get color choices. You can either have it in white or the rose pink kind of color. I don't know. We got them in white. They're fantastic. I won't use an iPad without one. All right. So I'm a YouTuber. I have this channel. I have a couple other channels. I do a lot of recording and stuff. I also do some recording for other people from time to time to help people out. And having a good microphone is really important, especially if you're out and about, and that means having a lapel mic, something you can clip on the person so you can hear what they're saying. And the go-to one for the longest time has been the Rode Wireless Go 2. It is $368 worth of perfection. It just works. And that's the one thing you want when you're doing kind of production is you want something that just works, right? But for $368, that's a lot of just work kind of pricing. Then DJI came out with their own version, and look at this. We're like at $368 on that, and they're big and cumbersome stuff. Now you got the DJI, and it's got the main unit, and then it's got the 2 smaller units, and you can actually hook another microphone in that unit, and they come in a case, and it charges everything for $329. That's pretty awesome, right? And I'm a big fan of DJI. I've got drones from them and cameras and all sorts of stuff. But then we found this. That is the Hollyland Lark M1. This thing is fantastic. Now, I'll be honest, we just got this a couple weeks ago, and we've been playing around with it. And it's got a great case that holds everything. You got the base thing. You've got the two microphones, so you can wire up 2 different people. So if you're doing interviews, you can hear from both people. And it's got the charging case that takes everything with it. It's got charging cables in it. You just take an adapter if you want to plug it directly into your iPhone. You can plug it into your computer. You can plug it into your camera. Anything, and you have automatic sound. Look at this, the price on this, $149. This is not even this, definitely go with that. All right, next up, speaking of microphones, I realize we're getting in a rut here, but I got to cover this one real quick because I really believe this one. For years, the Rode Video Micro was the go-to on-camera microphone for a shotgun camera, all right, for a shotgun microphone. You have your camera and you want to listen to the person who's right in front of you. This is the way to go. It plugs in and it just has fantastic sound. And as you can see, though, it's to the point where it's no longer even being offered directly from on Amazon because Rode's given up. It was selling for $100, but now there's this, which is the Movo VXR10. I have this one or a version of this one, and you can't tell the difference. You really can't tell the difference, and it's $40. If you're going to do any kind of on-camera recording where you just need a shotgun mic, listening to the person in front of you. In fact, you can use it at your desk. You can do some webcasting, something like. You just get a little clip over there, comes off your monitor or off the side of your desk, point it right at you, and you have an out-of-the-way, basically invisible microphone that is fantastic. All right, let's move along. Label makers. Now, I grew up with like the old school, like you twist the thing and you chunk it, twist, you could chunk. And then they came out with digital ones. And this Brother one is, I've used this one. It's fantastic. $60 is not a bad deal. Of course, you end up breaking the bank on the cartridges. You know, every time you mess up, you're like, oh, this is more I got to spend. You type it all in, you hit print, it comes out. They're great. They're great little things. But you know what's better than this at $60? How about printing anything you want at $24? This is they call it the Jadens. There's a lot of people who sell this. It's the D110 is what you need to know. And there's a lot of sellers on Amazon who sell this exact same thing. And what you do is you use your cell phone. Let me see if there's an image here. You use your cell phone. You got an app you download, and you can type in any text, any font. That's on there. You can change it. You can put images on it. You can get different types of labels. Like you can get cable tie type labels. You can get regular labels. You can get thin labels. You can get easy peel off labels. They have millions and millions of labels. Look at 400 plus borders and templates. And those are all for the kind of labels that are out there right now. And you can get all sorts of great stuff. And you just hit the button on your phone and it prints right out. You peel it off. It's easy. It's inexpensive. It is way more versatile. Why would you go? And you always have your phone with you. And I get it. You're like, oh, it's just easy to type on this. Tell me, when do you not have your phone on you? $60 versus $24. It's less expensive. It's more versatile. It's more portable. Just do it. It's the way to go. All right, next up, home security cameras. And if you've followed any of my other stuff, you know I talk a lot about home security cameras. So this right here, this is the go-to. This is the Google Nest. They're kind of the ones who started the new trend and internet ready, rather than having a base station and stuff. You just plug it in, it gets its own IP address, it takes it up to the cloud, and you can view it anywhere. They're the ones who founded this whole concept. $168. They think an awful lot of it. It's a 1080p. It's a good camera. Don't get me wrong. It is an excellent camera, but it's not any better than the Wisecam. And the Wisecam selling currently, this is the Wisecam 2. I have two of them. Hold on. I'm not joking. I've got several of these around the house. This is one I'm moving to a different location. We use these things all the time. I switched to Wisecam, and they're absolutely fantastic. You have the same kind of setup. They have a better free access. Like you can get more free content out of it than subscribing to the web, the cloud service. On top of that, on the Wisecam, and I'm trying to pull it out now so you can see this, but right there, I don't know if you can see right there, is there's the power button on the other side is a SD card. So you can actually put a memory card in this, record to this, access it remotely, and you don't even have to subscribe to the online service. There's lots of great things. Wise comes out with fantastic products. And on top of that, they just came out, look at this. You're looking at $168 versus $35. And this has lasted outside in a Montana winter, so it can take the cold. But their new one is the pan and tilt. Look at this thing. This is fantastic. It's an indoor or outdoor motion tracking, weather resistant, IP65, ready for any weather. We'll have to put that to the test and find out. But look at this thing, and it will pan and tilt. You can record on the device for, yeah, it's got to be more expensive, right? It is. It's $5 more expensive. Is it 5? It might be 4. 35, 54. 39, 50, it's almost $4.50 more expensive. Is my math right? I don't know. I can't believe that they can do a pan and tilt camera for this price. I thought these things were magical at $35. That's insane. I'm going to have to get my paws on one of those. And last but not least, this one is definitely a favorite of mine for years. I have been an early adopter, especially when it comes to cell phones, since the smartphone came out. In fact, I even had the first smartphone. If you guys know what that is, put it down in comments if you know what the real first smartphone is. I had it. And so anyway, iPhone Pro. You know, we switched to iPhones recently. We've got all sorts of great ones. I have the iPhone 13 right here, right, 13 Pro right here. And I know a lot of people want to buy it. And I had not bought full flagship phones for a long time. And then recently, we decided to switch over to iPhone, and I decided to switch for the camera. I wanted all the great juiciness and everything else, and I like it. The camera is fantastic. The only reason I'm sticking with it is because of the camera. I like that feature. Everything else, and I know there's other cameras and stuff, and I get it. We're not going to get into it, but here's the thing: you don't really need a flagship phone. And if you want to get it, that's fine. But look at this flagship phone. This is the iPhone 14 Pro for $1,000. And if you want to spend that money, that's up to you. But I decided, so I film with my phones. I've given up on regular cameras because the phones just work better. They're already connected to the Wi-Fi and stuff. So in my studio and stuff, I can just have stuff sent over to wherever I want to use it. But I wanted to have a second camera. So I decided to get a second iPhone. And I bought this. The iPhone 11 Pro. This right here, iPhone 11 Pro. And it's in its little case, nice and orange, so I can always see it. I know where the phone is to look at it and stuff. If I ever lose it, you can look around. Oh, there's a bright orange thing over there. That's why I get that case. Anyway, so as you can see, it's up, it's working, and I've been using it, and it kind of makes me wonder why I went with the brand new 13 Pro. Look at the price on this. $354. Now, this is renewed, refurbished, okay? And it's been renewed, and it's being sold by Amazon for $350. Let's call $355. We'll round up, versus $1,000. Here's the question: is there $650 difference between these two phones? And there just isn't. Is the image quality on this better than this? Yes. If you look at them side by side, you can tell. If you've got decent eyesight, and I really don't, I have to wear my glasses to see things up close. If you look close, you can be like, every time you can be like, that's the new one, that's the new one, that's the new one. But if you're honest with yourself, you're like, but the other one's pretty much just as good. It's just little areas where it's a little sharper here, the color's a little crisper there. It's not worth $650. It just isn't. And if you're using these for photos of your friends and families, it's totally not worth it. If you want to buy a new phone and feel good about it, that's great. I'm not telling you you can't, but I'm going to tell you this. If you're honest, you're not getting $650 worth of difference. I don't even know if you're getting $50 worth of difference. These phones are so closely matched, it's ridiculous. Anyway, that's your first episode of this. Not that, this. Anyway, as you know, we changed the name of the channel to The Deal Source, and the reason being, we're trying to keep deals and stuff to under 5 minutes, but it didn't allow us to do videos like this. And I think videos like this and a lot of other videos that we have coming out deserve a longer format. So we're going to change it to The Deal Source. We'll still have the 5-minute deals that we're going to be turning out. Sorry, this week we haven't put out as many videos because we've been changing the format and establishing a lot of other stuff behind the scenes. So now that we've got that all ironed out, we're going to hit the ground running next week. Make sure you've liked and subscribed. And remember, when you want great deals, you got to go to the source. So hop on your Deals Llama and head to the Deal Source.